So I use Welspun products at home. Mom gets the towels, the rugs, etc. So naturally, this comfortable affinity I felt towards Dipali Goenka when I first called her and enthused said, "Hello, ma'am," all excitedly. And she was very businesslike and equanimous. And she's like, "Hello, Neha." Her professionalism has made her name ubiquitous with the Welspun Group of companies. She is the director of Welspun Global Brands and is one of the promoters of the Welspun Group. She is a member of the governing body of FICCI FLO, the women's wing of the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce, and the chairperson of FLO Mumbai Chapter. She has completed the Owner-President Management Program from the Harvard Business School. She leads Welspun's retail initiative in India and has set up 2 distinct brands, Spaces Home and Beyond, and WELHOME. There is a much larger facet, however, to Dipali Goenka, of which we shall now hear. That is, I think, a bit more than what matters in the success of business. Let us find out about that. A very warm welcome to Dipali Goenka.
Good evening, everybody. I guess the speaker before me, Kathak, I was talking. It was very interesting to hear you. But today, I am in front of you. Thank you for inviting me, Neha. It's a great honor indeed. For us at Welspun, this is a story that we tell everybody. It is something which we are proud of, which I also wanted to share with all of you here. When we talk about spinning the threads of life, this is indeed what Welspun did. When we talk about business, I'm standing in front of you and you say, "Oh yeah, Welspun, what big deal, you know? You're just making your own money and that's it." But there's a very pertinent question that we ask each one of us here. Can business be the agent of change? Can that create something very different? And that's what we asked. Me and my husband were sitting 15 years back, discussing what Welspun was that time. It was around $200 million, and we were pretty comfortable with what we were. But yes, we were looking at ramping up our operations and feeling what we need to do now. A question that came up, that is business just about spending money? Or can we be the agents of change? Can we just make a difference to the society where we are, where we can be? So, I would just say, yes, that's what the answer we got when we started thinking about what we need to do. It is indeed so different when we talk about a change. It is so multifaceted. It is internal, external, and also tangible and intangible. Do you know about Bhuj? Do you know where it is? When we talk about Gujarat, the uppermost part of Gujarat, the run of Kutch, which was devastated by an earthquake in 2001. Everything came to shambles. Everything was broken down. There was nothing there. Anyway, you can only see arid land there, salt pans there, basically, and handicrafts, which people just worked 6 months, of the year, and 33% of the population worked there. When we went there, there was nothing. There was nothing, as you can just see here. There was no infrastructure. There was no water. Being arid, there's no water. No manpower, nothing. And when you talk about business, and we thought about Anjar, we just said it defied all the norms of management. When we talk about planning, we talk about infrastructure, we talk about strategy, but this defied all norms for us. But for us, it was something which we felt could be possible. We could look at Anjar, give the dream back to the people of Anjar, the pride back to people of Anjar, if we could do this, if we could put Anjar back on the map of the world. And that's what became our whole plan. Prudence defied it. Prudence told us, what are you going to be doing there? There's no infrastructure, there's no manpower. And we talk about Anjar, where our facilities are today. We have a steel mill there, and we have a textile unit at the moment. It needs water. There's no water there. There's no facility. There's nothing. It's a barren land like this. It defied all norms of business management. But, yes, I would just say humanity is more resilient than steel. We took this up. We took this up literally. The temperatures there are around 50 to 60 degrees in the afternoon. We set up this plant where we basically worked overtime. And the best part is, we set up this facility and shipped our first container of terry towels to Kohl's in America in 9 months. 9 months, 20 containers out of that place. How did we do that? If we didn't have the support of the people there, if we didn't know how we could do it, that's where we are. You can see that, what it was. And that's where our Welspun city is today. When we talk about empowerment, the first time when I went to Anjar, honestly, as a mother and as a woman, when I saw the women without their breadwinners, the children without any future, it was just devastating for me. Today, we have vocational centers across Anjar. There are villages across Anjar where we do vocational training for women. As you know, Gujarat is known for handicrafts. This area is especially known for handicrafts. So we set up these vocational units there. We train them for cut and sew, and we take them on. It is actually always said that when you look at yourself, when you evolve, you aspire. And when you aspire, you elevate. When we talk about India today, what is the biggest challenge that we have in India? We talk about education, literacy. When we talk about two countries, we talk about China and India. But where's China? If you look at the literacy rate in China vis-a-vis India, we are far behind. Where does this growth come in from? This change will come in from interiors of this part of the country. And we need to do that. And that's what we tried doing. We empowered these women so they could give a good life to their children. They could dream. They could educate their kids. This was Welspun Gram. This is where, when people they had nowhere to go. We built up these facilities not only for our workers, but for the people in Anjar who could stay here. There's very interesting and a funny side to it. There are these women whose husbands would be working. They had small children, they couldn't go anywhere. We trained them into beauty parlors, and that built up an aspiration for them. They got that extra little living which they could support themselves and also dream of something which they could do. I think when we talk about education, when we talk about Gujarat, education has always been a challenge. If you talk about the GDP, it contributes practically the highest, it may be around the highest of the GDPs in the Indian states. We all know that. But it is challenged with education. It is something, if you talk about this area, 55% is the literacy rate here. 55%. That is just so sad. We set up a Welspun Anganwadi. We have a school there where we have around 2,000 kids going. We also have Anganwadis for the tribal kids, where they get trained, and if there's a bright spark, they get absorbed in the school. And now, we have taken up a training the teacher program there, because in this country, there would be beautiful buildings, but there wouldn't be teachers, unfortunately. And we talk about education. That is the core if we have to elevate this country. We train these teachers. We're looking at training these teachers in the villages around, taking them on, because just to share the facts, when you have a school in these kind of villages, teachers travel 2 hours to reach these schools. So honestly, they don't even turn up to these schools. Kids are sitting in those classes without teachers. And it is so ironical. You'll have these buildings where the government is investing money, but nothing happens there. And that's what we endeavor to do here. And that's what we are dreaming of, making this place far better than what we can in our own small, special way. Environment. When we talk about Run of Kutch, we talk about this area. The ecology is very fragile, very delicate. At Welspun, we do rainwater harvesting. We also do, it is next to the sea. So there's no waste that is discharged in the sea. We have a zero discharge facility that is there. We reprocess the water. Water is scarce. It's very precious to all of us there. 85% of the water, we reprocess it. The sludge that is generated, we use it for biogas. We also have promised to grow plants, vegetation, trees. We've already done so. We have already planted 5,000 trees here. So that's where we talk about the environment. It is a very interesting economy. When we talk about handicrafts in Gujarat, there are these 10 small tribes where they have these, every tribe has a very significant style of handicraft. If it is Rabari, it is different. If it is other, it is very different. I have my buyers coming in from Macy's in America. They would come visit them. There would be something when we talk about combining a program of Macy's with a special art or handicraft of Gujarat. It just completely uplifts it. It gives them an opportunity, maps them onto the world map. Isn't it incredible? We have hospitality as a big thing now in Anjar that has come up with Welspun and with, with the whole opportunities that we can see. Right now, apart from us, there's investment around 20 to 30,000 crores that has already happened. So you can see this area just growing. It'll be incredible. I would invite you to come and see what this part of the world is. For you, when we sit here in the metro, we can't even visualize this part of the world. But it is contributing. It is contributing maybe to the deepest pipeline in the Gulf of Mexico, maybe to the world's topmost retailers in the world for textiles, but it is on the world map. So finally, a very important question. What did we achieve here? I wouldn't say, I would say that we have been an agent of change in the terms of in a small, special way. We could get that pride back to the people of Anjar. We could get them that, yes, we can do it. They had belief in themselves. They could rise up as a phoenix and resurrect their lives. The children of Anjar. We are a 1.2 billion population in this country. 80% is baby boomers in this country. Who is our future? They are our future. How do they believe if they can't dream about themselves? They have to. Give them the opportunity, and that's what it is. So, business are a part of society. It can be the change if we can believe in it. We can work together. We can work not in isolation. Business can't work in isolation. Societies can't work in isolation. We need to coexist together. And that's what, when we talk about the Welspun tale, spinning the threads of life, that's what it is all about. Thank you.